Hi folks. We are live at Fearn Farm. We've had a logistical, no not logistical, a technical nightmare. We've had real problems getting logged in, so hopefully, there's David Heat. I was going to say hopefully this is working, but it is. We have one viewer. I'm really sorry about the delay, folks. We'll just wait a few minutes to see if we get a few folk online, and we'll tell you a wee bit about Fearn Farm. So at the moment I am looking at Fern Abbey. Hi Joe Ellison, David Liddell, Alison Murray. Nice to see you all watching. So yeah, it's rather busy here today. We have got sheep heading north. We've just been loading lorries. There's John coming now as well. So yeah, this is Fearn Farm. We are on the Tarbat Peninsula, which is about 40 miles north of Inverness. Hi Lisa Covey from Canada. David Preston from Lancashire. Oh no, sorry, that's David from Preston from Lancashire. Anna Brown, hello, hello. So yeah, Tarbat Peninsula is a pointy bit of land between the Black Isle and to the north we have Sutherland, and on the next across the bridge to Dornoch. Our nearest town is Tain, and yeah, Inverness, as I say, is about 40 miles away, so that's a major city. Round about us here we have, so Fern Abbey is right in the centre of the farm. It's the church hall there. Fern Abbey is also known as the Lamp of the North. It's heading round to one of the cottages on the farm, and then that is our holiday accommodation, the mill at Fearn Farm. So it sleeps 14 people altogether. It can be split into two. So on one side it sleeps, the single story end sleeps 4 and the double story end sleeps 10. It's got double internal locking doors, which hope you can all hear me okay, which are yeah, you can lock them and soundproof them out, so they can be two completely separate entities altogether. So yeah, we are going to show you some of the farm and the sheep, and hopefully some calves as well. So yeah, this is lorry heading off. Busy place with folk moving stock from one place to the next. Hi Liz Phillips, Agnes Madden, hello, hello. We have got, this is the long shed. So this is full of pens with ewes and lambs, which have come from next door. This is Izzy, my daughter. So she is in charge of the lambing shed. And yeah, so Izzy, tell us a little bit about these ewes and lambs.
So majority of these ones have come in from outside because they're at this end of the shed. And on the whiteboard we put in lambing ease, lambing vigour, and then date of birth. So we know when they're born and what stage they're at. And this one's had a splash on from the field, so obviously her lamb's died. Her lamb died? She's got 2 lambs now, she only had 1. And we splashed one onto her because she has enough milk for 2.
So yeah, these what kind of breed of sheep have we got here, Izzy?
We have Aberfield crosses here. This is our commercial flock lambing now. We've passed our majority of our studs have lambed.
And here is John just joining us now.
Hi folks, how you doing?
Good. We are just having a wee chat about breeds and what we are up to in here.
Yeah, so we're just getting properly into the commercial lambing now. The stud lambing, there's not many of them left. So the studs, which are purebreds, that all get you see there that year there, she didn't get her lamb. The red dot on the back means it's been set on. She only had a single, so we put another lamb onto her to try and get her way out of the shed with 2 lambs. So I'll talk a little bit about the commercials. We're lambing the commercial twins, which is the crossbred ewes, outside at grass. There are 800 outside, and there are 2 people on bikes. Murray and Izzy check them 3 or 4 times a day. And then we've got the singles and triplets inside. So ideally we're going to put any triplet lambs onto a single and try and get everything away out of the shed with 2 lambs, or as many as possible, and hopefully not have any pet lambs, because pet lambs are a bit of a hassle, really, to be honest. We've got 8 pet lambs at the moment, according to Izzy, which is fine. So hopefully we won't have too many more than that. There's Izzy mucking out. Each individual lambing pen is mucked out in between guests, as it were. And we give it a good disinfect and make sure it's nice and clean for the next inhabitant. Our purebreds, which we lambed earlier on, were New Zealand Suffolk, Texels, Aberfield, and some Baltics as well. So it's good to be getting into the commercials, and this weather makes such a difference to us. So that lamb there with the red dot in the next door pen, we'll keep an eye on that. I suspect it may have to get lifted, and we'll try another mother for it, because it's just not really working. It's making a pretty good job of getting a suckle there while the other lamb is suckling, but I don't. She knows it's there. She didn't like it, so it may well get moved on. So I think we'll take a wander through and see if anything's lambing. We'll just wander through this way. This is what we call the long shed. Those of you who joined us before, but maybe seen this, but this was an old granary in years gone by, and it's not practical for much. We use it a little bit for straw, and we use it obviously for lambing it with our lambing pens. So we've got a cracking team with us this year. I think the average age of our team is 21, maybe even slightly less. We've had a couple of fantastic 16-year-olds with us learning the ropes for years to come. In fact, 15-year-olds there were. And Izzy back from uni with a friend. We've got 3 Kiwis in the team just now, and we've got 2 more coming. And the main man in charge of sheep at the moment is Murray, who's only 17, so he's putting a power of work in. And we've got Ed looking after the cattle. We've got Fraser from next door farm on the arable side of things just now, getting ready for the crop work.
So we're just in between sheds here just now, and we are going to head into what you would probably see as the maternity ward. These girls are all due to lamb.
So these are all triplets, or meant to be triplets. I think there's a single there, but these are mainly triplets. Really fresh arrival there. So we've got somebody here 24 hours a day, and keeping an eye on things. Normally 2 people, so we share the roles of looking after things lambing, and also keeping an eye on using lambs in the pens. One of the most important parts of the lambing time for your lambing inside is the aftercare, so making sure everything's got the right amount of colostrum. Colostrum is key for lamb survival, and it's very important to get adequate quantities early on in life. So that's one of the things the team are really hot on, and just making sure everything gets enough. And of course outdoors is slightly different. It's a different challenge out there. There are no lights on, there's nobody there 24 hours a day, and we rely on the team being there about an hour before dark, really, and then first thing in the morning to make sure things are okay. And you do get the odd death out there. You get the odd death inside as well. It's unavoidable. but with a few pet lambs we can hopefully match things up and get things sorted out.
So up the top here we can see the camera.
Yeah, we've got cameras to monitor what's going on in most of the sheds. It just means that at the start and at the tail end of lambing, when we don't have somebody here all the time, we can check things from our mobile phone, which makes a big difference. It also means when the guys are pretty tired in the middle of the night, they want to go for a sit down, they go and sit down and just keep an eye if they only got 1 or 2 sheep lambing. So it's pretty handy having the cameras in there. But I would say our genetics are moving towards more outdoor. I think the cost of indoor lambing is rising all the time with input costs and labour. One of the challenges we do have outdoors is with predators. And when we say predators at lambing time, people automatically think foxes. Well, there's foxes, there's badgers, there's black-backed gulls, there's seagulls, there's hoodie crows, and there's ravens. And then if you get a cold east wind, it's even more hassle. So plenty to keep us on our toes. We'll wander outside, we'll have a quick look outside. I think they're just outside getting their, where they get fed. We feed our ewes with a TMR mixer wagon and make up a mix with our own silage, homegrown barley and oats, and a bit of homegrown peas. So as much as we can, it's from the farm. We'll just have a quick look outside there. And
Glorious sunshine
they're
today.
pretty content out there, as you can see. And then they get the mix over there in the feeding trailers, and it seems to work quite well. These ewes will have been on fodder meat throughout most of the winter. So you'll see sheep grazing behind fences if you drive past Fern quite a lot. There's an awful lot of that done here. Fodder meat for sheep, and we've got soya for cattle and sweds for sheep. And it's a very simple way of feeding quite a lot of sheep throughout the winter. And you maybe saw the lorry going off a minute ago, if you'll maybe catch that. That's some of our own hogs going away for grass. This is almost a bit of a pinch point this time of year. We've got a lot of mouths relying on the farm here to get stock away from the farm. So the next month we'll see us move stock away to 4 or 5 different farms, which we call out farms elsewhere. There's one of our Kiwis, Beth, going back so fast on the bike. Shorts are on, that must mean summer's here.
So we've got one in the feeder.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, that ewe there is a Shetland across Aberfield, and Shetlands like to do things differently. They do their own thing. They're quite unique, really. Very hardy little sheep, and that's a Shetland crossed Aberfield. Gimmer, scan triplets. Probably shouldn't be scanning triplets because it's quite optimistic for her. A pair would be much more like it for a Gimmer, which is a first-time mum.
Can't see if we've got any questions. I can see we've got lots of people watching, and Megan, who was with us lambing, is watching. Hi Megan. Good to see that you're missing us. We're missing you.
Other things that are going on just now, we might just take a wander over and have a peek over the wall. If we can.
David Heaps is asking how many. Yes, David's asking how many are we lambing now, and how many cattle do we have?
We're lambing just under 3,000 this year between here and the farming contract farm at Scottsburn. And in terms of cows, we're calving about 350, and that's again between here, our own stuff, our own beef shorthorns, which we'll see in a minute, and we've got our own lings, and we've also got a herd of lings that we winter for someone else alongside what we've got. So there's a fair bit to do. It's pretty full on, really. One of the things, and you're not really going to get a full feel of what we're doing, but we'll stick our heads over the wall and see what's going on over here. It's great this time of year to be able to look out and see what we're up to. Over the wall we've got ewes and lambs that have come out of the shed, nice and handy, a nice bit of grass here, and then in the distance there we've got cows and calves, and the wind turbines going in the background, a bit of green energy. And I don't know if you can see it further down there, the tractor and a couple of machines and guys working down there. That's just starting to put in 3,500 metres of fencing, which will be mostly done by the end of next week, we hope. And that's all fencing that's going in for hedges. 20,000 hedge plants sitting in the shed, due to start planting on Monday, which we're pretty excited about. We're not planting them, we're too busy with other things, but we've got an excellent team in to plant them, and just doing our bit really for environment. And there's a couple of ponds going in, and it's really important that we keep creating habitat for birds and bees and animals. We're pretty passionate about it, balancing modern livestock and crop production with looking after the environment. It's something we as farmers take pretty seriously and want to make happen. It's all going to be big change next week around here. We're just as we're getting to finishing off a lot of the sweds and winter forage crops, sees us get everything ploughed and into barley and spring oats as well. So plenty happening. We'll maybe take a little wander down to the cattle shed and see if there's anything doing. I know there's a couple of fresh calves there earlier on, so just going to head down there. Any more questions, Phil?
I'm not seeing any more questions. If you've got any questions, guys, just pop them on.
If there's any chiropractors watching, local chiropractors that want to clank my back, I'd be most appreciative. I've got a little bit of a limp due to putting the back out, trying to catch a lamb. I did catch the lamb, but there was a cost.
Another one of our team coming up the road here. It's Rosie, who is also studying at Harper Adams with his.
Looks like Beth's broken that snacker. Beth, have you broken that snacker?
Oh, please! No, there's people in the workshop that fix that stuff.
Are you enjoying the sun?
Yes. Shorts. Everyone's in shorts today.
Cool. See you later. So a cow with a calf there that hasn't been very well. It's on the mend, but got them in there in the sick bay, just keeping an eye. And that's his dog Fern on the bike. Now on the hay.
So it's just a stunning day here in Easter Ross. Blue skies. Hope it's a nice day where you are. So we've got shorthorn cattle, beef shorthorn cattle and lings here at Fern.
Yeah, we've been breeding beef shorthorns for 25, 26 years now. They're the oldest beef breed in the world, 200 years old, celebrated that anniversary last year. And we've also got lings, which are a composite breed, which are made up from the beef shorthorn on the Highlands cow years ago on the Isle of Ling by the Catcher brothers, and they're now a recognised breeder themselves. A really hardy type of cow. These girls here that Fiona's got on camera were just taken in yesterday, and they have most of them calved outside, and we normally calve them outside, but just when the team are getting tired, it's just handy to bring them in so they're all in one place. And most of them will be calved and outside again in the next fortnight, I would think. So you'll see there at the back of the shed there's a electric fence making the noise there. That's the units for our electric fence, which we'll have all over the farm. We've got hot wire, so it's nice and handy for tying in for rotationally grazing our grass in the summer, and obviously the forage crops we talked about in the winter. So this pen here that Fiona's got, we've got the first time mums and we have got the second time mums. So we've got them in one spot so that we can keep a better eye on them. And also, it's really important we get the nutrition right for them and feed them just right to make sure they look after themselves, but also their calves, their newborn calves. And they'll be heading outside fairly soon. Once they've calved, there's 3 or 4 fresh calves in there we'll hopefully see down here. Any more questions coming in? Just fire the questions in, folks, if you'd like. There's R54 at the back, she calved last night. And P77 just here. she calved this morning.
It's very fresh.
So, many of you will know, you've got to be careful around, excuse me, cows at calving time, and indeed any time. You know, when they're calving, they potentially can be dangerous as well as the rest of the year. So we're very careful here. We make sure if we're going in to handle cows and calves, that we're with someone's with us, even if we know them really well.
Yeah, and if you're out walking in the countryside at this time of year and you see cows and calves, give them a really wide berth, stay away from them.
Yeah.
And if you have dogs, keep them on leads at all times.
Good to see you watching all of our pride down the south. It's great. We've talked about the beef shorthorn there. There's a bit of a beef shorthorn family all over the world, really. But it's been great for us. We've made loads of good friends. I'm involved in the board at the moment, and there's some really good people involved in the society, and looking forward to catching up with everyone at summer shows, and it's quite a social event. We see them. Highlands show is the main one for us. We don't do much showing ourselves, but there's talk of maybe taking a heifer out this year, maybe if we get a chance. Not much doing the calving shed at the moment, but pretty quiet in here. Here's some of the old girls in here. This is the older girls, so the experienced mums. They've done it all before, they know the crack. We shouldn't have to be intervening much here at all. We sometimes have to assist, and maybe if there's a leg back or a tail first, sometimes we have to give them a bit of a hand. But on the whole, all ages get on with it with these breeds. We don't really want to be intervening too much. So it's fairly easy to deal with. They're very quiet. It's one of the great things about the beef shorthorn is their docility. They're very quiet to work with, and easily handled, possibly like myself.
You think? I think that's debatable.
Okay.
There's a wee calf in the back there.
Yeah, another fairly new arrival, just cozied up there. Plenty of straw at this time of year. Make sure everything's well bedded so that there's minimise the chance of any infection. And we bed things every morning. There's a straw blower comes in, and either Fraser or Ed gives them a fresh bed. And we try and feed them at night, with the theory is that they calve during the day. For some reason that's meant to work, but it's not working really very well at the moment. We're having quite a lot of things calving at night, so that's just the way it goes though. So Ed's on call if he's needed. One of the girls that's in the lambing shed will give him a shout. They'll keep an eye on the calving cows at night as well, so it works fine. Nice to see we've got Paddy watching. Paddy, I would go and take you to show you some line bulls, but they're too far away. But anybody that's keen to come and see us in the mill, do get in touch. And when you're booking, if you're keen to come around the farm and have a look at what we're up to, we're more than happy to show you around. One of the great things about farming is talking farming and showing people what we do. We're proud of what we do, proud of our stock, proud of our people, and getting the chance to share that passion with others is quite special. If you're really lucky, we might get you some sausages or a steak for the barbecue too. We do a little bit of added value or another route to market with our beef, lamb. We work with Macbeths and Forrests, and they cat and pack our beef and lamb for us. So if you're interested in getting some Fearn Farm beef from the beef shorthorns or the lings, please get in touch.
We've got people watching from all over.
Great, the people watching from Germany and abroad, Canada. Great to hear from you all. We talked earlier about the mixer wagon, about the feeder wagon, so that's what it is up there on the back of that tractor. It's basically just a big mixing bowl, and we chuck everything in, mix it all up, and follow a recipe. And each category of stock gets that recipe, gets a different recipe, so it works really well. But the sooner we can get back to grass, which is just now really, we're really starting to get stock out, makes all the difference.
So yeah, sorry for the delay this afternoon, guys. We had a bit of technical problems getting logged on, and Lambathon will run for another 2 days over the Easter weekend. So yeah, tune in tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And also on Instagram, we've got takeovers. I think today is Lindor's Farm are on Instagram. So if you're not watching, if you're not keeping an eye on what Go Rural are doing on Instagram, please do. We also have Instagram and Facebook ourselves for the Fearn Farm page, and also the mill at Fearn Farm, which is a holiday accommodation.
We're on Twitter as well. Margaret Henderson asking for Worcester, where you locate, how far north? Not far north at all. We're about 40 miles north of Inverness, which is a lovely little area called Eastern Ross, a little peninsula. We've got golden sand beaches, great place to eat, not far away. It's a pretty special spot. Nice climate, not too much rain, lots of coastal path walks, golf courses. Got the works really. Come and see us. Great to see you.
Yeah, definitely. We've still got spaces in the holiday house this summer, and yeah, there's just so much to see. We're actually on the edge of the North Coast 500, which starts in Inverness and goes all the way up the west coast and round by John O'Groats and comes down the east coast again, finishing again in Inverness, which is a fantastic drive, one that should be taken slowly and enjoyed. But yeah, again, we're in a really good spot here. We're only an hour and a half from the west coast, so it's a great spot to come and base yourself in and go exploring. And then north, we're an hour and 3/4 to the ferry to take you up to Orkney. So yeah, a really great part of the world.
It's a good spot. You can do Orkney in a day from here, go up and do a day trip around Orkney, come back again. One of the things about North Coast 500 is the lateral routes across the middle of it, which people often miss out as they do the main loop itself. But as Fiona says, definitely potential to base yourself here and go and explore some of that wonderful country in Sutherland especially.
We've got one of our neighbours asking, he's been enjoying watching the herd eating the fields below at Tulloch, and he's missing them since we've moved them.
Apologies, Alistair. There might be some more going in there briefly for a wee while, and then we're going to have fodder beet and a bit of barley in that field next year, so there will be sheep grazing it next winter. That is the plan at the moment anyway. Hopefully weather will play its part and let us do that. Thank you for keeping an eye on things down there, though. It's very handy to have locals keeping an eye on what we're up to and making sure if there's sheep in their back or sheep out or cattle out or not well, that we get a phone call. It's great to have. Thank you for that. What are you seeing over here?
I'm just seeing it's such a shame that we've not seen anything calving or lambing. It has been really full on the past few weeks. We've been lambing for nearly 6 weeks almost now, haven't we? Since we first
started lambing on about the 10th of March. I've lost track of time. I don't know when that was.
Oh no, so it's a month. Yeah. It feels like 6 weeks.
It does feel like 6 weeks.
It sure does. Yeah.
So that's about us, folks. I think we're just about done. It's been great to have you with us. And come and see us. Come and, as Fiona mentioned before, get involved, get out in the countryside, go and see what's to offer in the countryside. And we'll catch you all again soon. Cheers.